everybody, this is Marley K. Got some news for you that is hot off the presses from today. Microsoft is laying off 10,000 employees. They are blaming it on slower revenue growth, reduction in PC sales, as well as interest in cloud software. So I'm going to read you the story, but I just want you to understand that as they have their meeting in Switzerland this week, they are also making moves in their businesses and organizations here stateside. And the computer guy who knows all things, his company announced today that it's letting go 10,000 employees through March 31st as the software maker braces for slower revenue growth. We don't have any money because food is high. We don't have money to keep going out and buying new computers and all this other tech stuff. We got to patch up whatever we got and keep it pushing. The company is also taking a 1.2 billion charge in the fiscal second quarter, which will result in a negative impact of 12 cents to earnings per share. Alphabet, which is the parent company for Google, Amazon, and Salesforce are among the technology companies that have lowered headcount in recent weeks. Contraction comes after demand for cloud computing and collaboration services picked up as enterprises, government agencies, and schools encouraged remote work to reduce COVID exposure. Rising prices have prompted companies to become more careful about technology spending, hurting prospects for tech stocks that outperformed other market sectors year after year. Now Microsoft and its peers are taking stock. In July, Microsoft said it will trim less than 1% of employees, and in October, it confirmed an additional round of job cuts that reportedly affected fewer than 1,000 workers. I'm confident that Microsoft will emerge from this stronger and more competitive, CEO Satya Nadella told employees in a memo that was posted on Microsoft's website. The move will reduce Microsoft's head count by less than 5%. And some employees will find out this week if they're losing their jobs, he wrote. Microsoft shares moved modestly higher at the US Open after the announcement. The workforce adjustment will hit all teams and geographies, with more impact coming to sales and marketing than engineering, a company spokesperson told CNBC in an interview. And that's very interesting because, the engineering piece will control like the chat GPT and people who work with the software engineers. So if you work, in sales or in marketing, like, trying to get people to buy this stuff, those people are going to be out of the door first. They're not reducing their engineers, their software engineers. So just keep in mind, when you are reading these stories, look to see who they're keeping and look to see who they're letting go, because it tells you where they are headed for the future. Employees in the U.S. who are eligible for benefits will receive severance that's above the market and 6 months of health care and stock vesting, along with 60 days notice before their work ends, Nadella wrote. Nadella reiterated trends in the business climate that he has described in recent months. As we saw customers accelerate their digital spending during the pandemic, we are now seeing them optimize their digital spend to do more with less. So this is saying we have been watching how people spend their money using their debit cards, using electronic payment processors like PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, et cetera, et cetera. So anytime you use the digital money, know that everything that you consume or purchase, they can take inventory of. So they know how we are spending our money. And most people don't go to the bank and get out cash and then just spend it, so nobody will know how that's done. just because we've become so reliant on that little plastic card. But the reliance on the plastic card, along with, paying with your phone, paying with apps, using all these different third-party vendors, we now have given them so much information to track how we spend. They know when we're not spending as much money. I know I haven't been spending as much money. I spent a significant amount of money last year buying things to put back for rough times. But as I saw the increase in our basic necessities like groceries, the dollar store went up to $1.25. All the little places that I used to buy, even stuff that you get from the thrift store now, is more expensive than it used to be. I've not been spending as much, but because I use my debit card frequently, or I buy stuff online and I use PayPal or whatever, they know I haven't been spending as much money. So, it is no secret we're being tracked, and that this is exactly how they want us. And so this is only going to get worse as they increase the amount of surveillance or offer us more ways for them to track us. They're going to sell it to us as it's going to make life easier, and it will, but it also gives them more access into your personal life. And so they know we haven't been spending as much money. And so they tell us we are now seeing them optimize their digital spend to do more with less. We're also seeing organizations in every industry and geography exercise caution, as some parts of the world are in a recession and other parts are anticipating one. So we're really in a recession, but they're telling us we're not in a recession. Everybody else is admitting it except for us, because we live in damn Disney World. But anywho, earlier this month, Nadella had indicated the company might have to make adjustments. I think for us, a global company, we're not going to be immune from what's happening in the macro, he said in an interview with CNBC TV 18. We will have to also get our own sort of operational focus on making sure our expenses are in line with our revenue growth. Microsoft has called for a 2% revenue growth in the fiscal second quarter, which would be the slowest rate since 2016. So they're calling for revenue growth in the second fiscal quarter. This is the first one to the next one. So that means they expect something to happen. This is me theorizing. Don't take stock in it. Don't hold me to it. But I'm anticipating that something will happen in either at the end of this quarter, and then it's going to lead to folks relying on whatever services and products they sell, and their revenue will increase. And I'm guessing now you're seeing people say you have to come back to the office. They want to end remote work in a lot of places because the surrounding businesses are suffering, especially like in places like DC. They want people to come back into the office and work because they have been letting people work from home, which a lot of people appreciated, because when their kids were out of school, they could stay at home and take care of their kids and do whatever they needed to do. Then they increased it from working from home every day to 3 days per week. You work from the office 3 days a week and you work from home 2 days a week. Well, the foot traffic, people leaving and going out for lunch, people driving into the city and parking, and all the stuff that happens when you live in big cities, that was reduced. And so a lot of people lost their businesses. They had to lay off employees. Now everybody's hurting, and we're in a recession. So now they are reducing the number of employees, but I anticipate something is going to happen. Probably a ramp up of the what, and then people will be forced to stay at home, and they will rely on this technology, the digital technologies that we relied on during 2020 and 2021 when they shut everything down. So I take it as they're anticipating in the next quarter, there will be a lockdown and people will rely on products that they sell and they will have an increase in revenue. That's my 2 cents. I don't know because I'm just a regular old person, but I like to read between the lines and I'm going to anticipate that is what this means. Major layoffs aren't an annual exercise for 47-year-old Microsoft, but they do happen occasionally. In 2017, Microsoft laid off thousands of employees in a broad reorganization of its sales unit. In 2014, following the acquisition of Nokia's devices and services business, Microsoft cut 18,000 jobs. The charge relates to severance, changes to the company's hardware lineup, and the cost of consolidating leases, Nadella wrote. Every one of us and every team across the company must raise the bar and perform better than the competition to deliver meaningful innovation that customers, communities, and countries can truly benefit from, Nadella wrote. If we deliver on this, we will emerge stronger and thrive long into the future. It's as simple as that. So as you can see underneath here, and I'm not going to read it, it just says Microsoft's OpenAI investment won't help it rival Google search, says tech analyst. So the other thing is like they are planning for the future and trying to compete with other companies, and everybody is trying to get into this AI and roll it out this year. So it's like dog eat dog. The future is not people. That's basically what they're telling us in this piece. They're going to get rid of you and you're either going to have to retrain or figure out something else to do to make your ends meet, because they are planning on using us humans less and less. So I just wanted to come drop that dime to you all about what's going on. They're saying everything is good. We're not quite in a recession yet, but as you can see, thousands of people are getting laid off in mass in tech, and that is going to translate to other real world jobs on Main Street really soon. So keep your eyes out, keep prepping, keep praying, and just have faith that we're going to make it out of this. We understand what time it is. We've gone through bad times before. The only thing you can do is plan, pray, and ask the Most High to guide you into what you need to do, where you need to go, what you need to buy in this season. But this is not the season to be wasting money. This is not the season to be buying things, frivolous things, and definitely not the season to just be making purchases of things that are not going to be valuable, things that you can't trade if you need to trade, things that you can use in the event there's some type of crisis or we have another shutdown or whatever. Think about what's coming and prepare. All right, that's all I got. Thank y'all, and I will talk to you later.